if LeBron and the Lakers somehow loses to the Denver Nuggets, what happens then? You know? So, I mean, if they lose to the Clippers, you're like, okay, we felt the Clippers might have been better. But if they lose to the Denver Nuggets, what do we say then? So I'm not going to say pressure, but I don't think he's off the hook is my point. Stephen A., you said this before. If the Lakers do not shoot well from three-point line, they're going to have trouble in this series. They're shooting 59% from two, which ranks them first in the playoffs, but they're shooting 36% from three, which ranks them 11th. They're going to have to hit shots because when LeBron's rolling or if AD's rolling, they're going to double team and say, what? We're going to lose to someone else by hitting jump shots on the perimeter.
Well, I'm not trying to imply, listen, I think that Max, you're not getting what I'm saying. I'm not saying that LeBron was looking forward to not going against Kawhi Leonard or whatever, like he was scared or something. It was an encounter we were all looking forward to. If you go up against Denver, Vince, and Kyle Kuzma can't make shots, and Danny Green can't make shots, and Rondo's missing shots, and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and everybody else, but LeBron and AD average over 30, and they don't fold in fourth quarters, but somehow, some way, nobody else steps up. But Denver's shooting the ball the way that they're shooting. Of course it would be bad, but nevertheless, you know what? They're a good team. We have to respect them. What I'm saying to you is that if LeBron and the Lakers had gone against the Clippers, Kawhi versus LeBron is a separate story. It's a separate story in and of itself. With this series, it's the Lakers versus the Nuggets, of course led by LeBron. With the Lakers versus the Clippers, it's the Lakers-Clippers, it's L.A., but it's also LeBron versus Kawhi, the two-time NBA Finals MVP, coming at you, claiming the crown is his. You passe, I'm the future, etc., etc. Let's go. And then he goes into a conference finals and he gives it to LeBron. That would have been a disaster. If LeBron had given it to him, LeBron would have said, you must have forgot. And that would have been great. But without that, now you're just playing basketball, and you hoping your other guys step up because you know what you're going to do. Against Kawhi, it would have been different.
But when you say let off the hook, if you answer let off the hook, the implication, at least what I infer from that, is there's a hook to be on. Like you don't really want it, right? To me, based on what's happened so far, LeBron would have been better off on the so-called hook, as you describe it, because he would have had a chance to prove that he's the best head-to-head. And given the way Kawhi just played, there's a good chance that would have happened, especially since LeBron's supporting cast has played bigger in these playoffs than Kawhi. Let's not forget, the Lakers don't have continuity. The Lakers have a new coach, all that stuff. The Clippers have more continuity, the same coach, largely the same team except for the two superstars, right? Not as much turnover otherwise. And yet, there's LeBron waiting, and Kawhi is not there. Now LeBron has a harder matchup against the Nuggets, I'm here to tell you. A more dangerous team, obviously, and he'll get less credit for it.
And let me say this real quick before you go on, Stephen A. I think this. We said LeBron, like you said, LeBron took care of business. He said, okay, you want to see us versus the Clippers. Make sure my team takes care of business and make sure we're in the Western Conference Finals. Now, Kawhi, you do that, and I'll see you there. And to Max's point, Kawhi didn't get it done.
Well, like I said days ago, the fact that yesterday rather, look, Kawhi didn't get it done. That's on him. That's not LeBron's fault. But the headaches of being paraded and swarmed with questions every single day about him versus Kawhi and that storyline and all of that stuff, he no longer has to concern himself with. That's number one. Number two and three, Max. First of all, you're absolutely correct. I did not infer that means he was on a hook, so he was let off the hook. And number two, and more importantly, I almost never infer what you infer because I think nothing like you. And I'm proud of that. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.